Hello everyone, my name is Edine. I am one half of Hustle and Hooks. We just sold that giant drum set for the Wii, including some guitars and a stand. Let me show you how to pack it. So in this bundle, we sold the drums, the stand, 2 guitars, and a couple small miscellaneous items, including the pedal and the drumsticks. The most difficult piece to pack is going to be this stand because it is 36 inches tall and it does not come apart to the best of my knowledge. I tried to get it to snap in half because there's clearly a cut here where they've put this thing together, but I don't know how to, and I don't want to risk damage to the unit, so I'm going to leave it alone. So right off the bat, I know I'm going to need at least a 38-inch long box so that I can have padding between the top and the bottom to prevent any damage. 2 guitars came with this bundle as well. Most people do know, but in case you don't know, these guitars, they just simply snap off at the back. With this one, it's just a simple trigger. You pull it down, pull out the neck, and you have a much easier item to ship and a much easier one to wrap in bubble wrap. So if you are selling them individually, it's definitely a lot cheaper to take them apart and ship them in 2 pieces rather than to ship them in one long box typically. So there's another one that just simply snaps off, and now you have 2 pieces you can easily bubble wrap. The drum set itself, it's a little bit intimidating just because it's so large, but it does come apart. There are levers on the bottom here that you can just simply loosen up, and then you can just take this piece and pull it off. So this is obviously the most important piece because this is the electronic. This also is relatively large in comparison to the stand. It's pretty close to the same height, so it's probably going to be about 34 inches. And then the stand itself does come apart. This one has an issue. This piece right here does not actually want to go in, even though I unsnap or I loosen them. It does fold in this way, and this piece does actually go up and down. So that's a little bit easier. I've tried putting force to this. I don't want to put any more force on it just because I don't want to risk damaging it. But because the other piece is already so long, this should be fine, and I'll make it work. And I can fit things in between it as well. So that's the disassembly part. Now that it's relatively disassembled, you have 2 options. One, it's going to be 2 larger boxes put together, or if you're lucky and you have a larger box in your stash, you can just use 1 box to get it shipped. So lucky for me, I did have a large enough box in my arsenal of boxes. This one here, it measures 41 inches by 23 inches by 18 inches, so it's plenty of room. What I am going to do after I package this, try to trim off a little bit of length and maybe a little bit of width just to save on shipping. Before I do any bubble wrapping or space adjustment on the box, I want to lay out all of my pieces just to make sure it's going to fit and also how it's going to look inside the box. So I have my stand in the back here, I have my actual drums here, and my guitars are pretty loose because those are smaller and they can fit anywhere. And this way I can lay out and see what it's going to look like before I put bubble wrap on it, just to make sure it's all going to fit nice and compact and there's not a lot of wiggling inside of the box. So next thing I'm going to do, I'll pull everything out, start bubble wrapping and spacing it properly, and see if I can save any inches on any dimension to try to reduce the cost of shipping. So here's everything bubble wrapped. Each individual guitar and neck is bubble wrapped. The drums themselves, these are the drumsticks. They're made out of wood. They don't need bubble wrap. Notice I did not bubble wrap the actual stand for the drums, and I only put bubble wrap on the top and bottom of the plastic stand for the Nintendo Wii and accessories. I left enough gaps around. You can see in the back and on the sides, if I push this all together, there's enough space on both sides, top and bottom, so I can now stuff it. What I do is I use craft paper, the same craft paper that I use to wrap these sticks with. I'm going to use that to fill the rest of the void. That way there's no moving or shaking allowed, and I'm going to make sure that there's enough padding in between each item. After that, we'll tape it up, weigh it, measure it, and get it shipped. As far as void filling goes, You can use any recycled material. I use a lot of this craft paper. You just crumble it up and fill the gaps. You can also use recycled materials such as these cardboard tubes. You can just simply take them, see where they need to fit, squeeze them so that they fit nice, and that way they give you that extra protection in case of any bumps. So I'm going to do the best that I can to make sure that everything inside of here is nice and sturdy so there's no moving or shaking to prevent as much damage as possible. All right, so I got most of the spaces now filled with this craft paper and some recycled cardboard. The last touches is I'm basically just gonna fill it all the way to the top with craft paper. I'm gonna make sure that all these gaps are nice and full and things are not moving around. And then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna do a quick double check to make sure all the components are packed. I'll seal her up and then I'll do the shake test. And the shake test is exactly what it sounds like. I'm gonna pick up the box and shake it just to make sure things are not loose. Nice and full. So it overflows slightly, which is perfectly fine. Now I'm going to go ahead and close it, compress everything down, make sure that everything is inside of it, and seal the box. All right, we're done packing. Everything is nice and compact. The box is sealed. All the components are in it. The box measures 40 inches by 22.5 by 16.5, and it weighs 32 pounds and 2 ounces. And that's important because the larger the box, the more weight, the more expensive. So let's go over how much it's going to cost to ship. All right, we're done. Everything is packaged. All the components are in it. Let's find out how much it's actually going to cost to ship this. This package is shipping from Michigan up to Oregon. It's pretty much the farthest point away from us. And that's probably why we made the sale, because we offered free shipping. We offer free shipping because we build that cost right into the goods. And it gives us a competitive advantage in the market. So if I put these dimensions in with this weight, so again, it was 40 inches by 22.5 by 16.5, and it weighed just a little bit over 32 pounds. If I put that into the system and put it in as FedEx shipping, it would have cost the customer somewhere between $100 and $200 to ship this box, which it's not going to be worth it for them at that point. Instead, we build it into the cost. So with FedEx, it's up to 70 pounds with FedEx home delivery, and it has to be up to 108 inches in length, or a total of 165 inches in length plus the girth. If the box was a 40 by 40 by 20, it would have cost $240 to ship it. If it was a 40-30 by 20, it would have cost $215 to ship it. 40 by 24 by 20 would have been $73. Our box measured 40 by 22.5 by 16.5. It's going to cost just a little bit over $64 to ship this box out. The total sales price was $289.99. We have less than $40 into the unit, so we're still making over $150 profit after fees and shipping cost, and of course after cost of goods. Next thing I'm going to do is put the information into the system, print the label, drop it off, and move on. I appreciate you guys watching. I hope that this actually helped you. We really think there is a competitive advantage in shipping larger items. You know, there are pros and cons, of course. It's going to be a little bit more labor intensive to package. It's going to cost you a little bit more in materials to package it. However, you can ask for top dollar on some of these items. We sold a Xbox 360 drum set by itself recently for $130, and that one only cost $14 to ship because it was going here to the Midwest. So you can definitely make a larger profit margin with larger items, even though it's a little bit trickier to package. So I suggest take a look at it, don't shy away from it, and make your money. If you guys aren't following us already on Instagram, please do check us out. I'll pop up our handle. And then, of course, we're relatively new to YouTube. We're going to continue to put out good quality content. And of course, if you like it, please let us know in the comments below. Subscribe for more information similar to this, and hope to see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Have a great day.